We have Andrew, Glynn, Werner Sharp, and Patrick Niesen already in our conference. Maybe if you guys want to switch on your videos so that everybody can see you, and when the other guys switch the videos off, that would be great. So I didn't include you in the panel discussion, not on purpose, but I wasn't sure. Andrew told me you were not sure. You had some other meetings if you would be there in time. So after we had the first telephone conversation with I believe Werner and Andrew were our first contacts in I think July, August last year. We figured they are in Speyer, which is not so far away from where we are in Darmstadt. So both of these cities being south of Frankfurt. And we said, oh, we're coming to your place. We always like to go to the custom places if it's feasible. And we had a long discussion on a very hot day. And I think the first 3.5 hours or 2 hours, Werner and Andrew talked about filters, only about filters. And they talked very passionately, and it was actually very exciting. And we learned a lot in these 2 hours about filters and what they're doing, because Werner and Andrew both come from the business side. Actually, Patrick, who will also be in this being presenting here, he is a ServiceNow platform owner, mainly concerned with IT. But the next interesting thing was, Mann and Hummel does not have strategic portfolio management in the IT area so far. So Werner and Andrew had some ideas and a good plan and a vision, and we listened to that. And actually, at the end of the meeting, we pretty much said, we are not sure this can be done. So because it was quite exotic, as you will see in the customer presentation. So from there on, we said, we need to do a pilot. We don't want to do any kind of project if you're not sure it can be done. Patrick, as a platform owner, sometimes that's not the usual way. Sometimes platform owners say, I have so much work. Maybe we can talk in 2 years. Patrick pretty much said, okay, I'll support it. You don't screw up my platform. And I think we kept with that, but he was in it and was supporting it. And we did a pilot project, and the actual implementation project is running at the moment, and it was one of the most exciting and innovative SPM projects we've done. And with that, I hand over to you 3 guys, and if you share your slide and maybe say a couple of words about yourself and the company, and then your presentation.
Okay, well, thanks everyone for giving us the chance to speak again on this occasion. We did give a similar presentation at the World Forum of ServiceNow, and it's really, I'm very honored by ServiceNow to be invited to talk, and also by PlanHorizon to have this kind of trust level to invite us also to this conference. It's really an exciting topic. Yeah. So next slide, please, and one more button. So first of all, I want to tell you why you're actually sitting here. I mean, what is the benefit for you to listen to what we are going to say here, and what you get out of it? What will we tell you about today? First of all, the activity we talk about is something that will drastically boost our strategic portfolio management to a next level. And we are talking not about a digital product, but we talk about a physical product. And it was already mentioned by Andreas that we actually produce filters, and you will learn a lot about filters from Werner and from Andrew. With the same hot blood that I am for the ServiceNow platform, they will talk about filters, and I hope you be as enthusiastic as we are about it. So we are using ServiceNow to implement this SPM. We use to cover our activities that we are doing. We cover the areas of demand, project, roadmap, and product families, perhaps even the ideas. We plan to connect other systems to it, so the ServiceNow will be the the place where we get a 360-degree view of everything that's going on. And so that's why we noticed we can use Snowflake to connect with it. And as an output, we will have achieved a really shortened time to market, as well as an improved coordination. I mean, that's always the thing about ServiceNow, is that we have a great transparency, what's going on. And so when we have this transparency, we can better coordinate. So we be able to coordinate feature requests, innovation projects, as well as events that we need to attend with our product development and product portfolio. So next slide, please. Introduction. Who am I? I'm Patrick. I worked 7 years with ServiceNow. My previous company, I introduced the ITSM module in ITPM. In those days, it was still called. And now I'm heading the whole area of ESM, Enterprise Service Management. So which includes, first of all, the ServiceNow platform, secondly, IT support, and thirdly, processes at the moment, very much focused on IT processes. Then perhaps I hand over to Andrew.
Hello, good late afternoon. Yeah, my name is Andrew Glynn. I'm Global Project Manager OE, part of Werner's team. I have experience of around more than 18 years within Mann & Hummel in different positions, started in R&D, project management, application engineering, and then since I would say 13 years, I'm in product management located. And as mentioned by Andreas, so Werner and I, we are the parents of that strategic portfolio management, internally known as Roadmap Boost.
And last but not least, this is Werner. Happy to be here today and to be able to introduce the great collaboration we are experiencing with PlanHorizon in the recent month. So I'm 20 years with Mann & Hummel. There are 15 in sales, in charge of global key accounts and for the industry, certain industry sectors. And since around about 5 years in product management, and there more for the methodological part, and everything which has a digital tab for our business unit. And we directly can go to the next slide to speed up a little bit. So I'm glad to give you a brief introduction about Mann & Hummel. If one hears about Mann & Hummel, I'm often confronted with, you are the automotive supplier. Yes, we are, but we are not only. There is a wide deck of filtration solutions we are offering also outside the PaaS car industry. And you see here, we are the solution provider and the global leader when it comes to cleaner mobility, cleaner air, cleaner water. Whatever it is, like you see here, farming, food production, laboratories, clothing, operation theaters with laminar flow ceilings, filtration for machinery. This is the entire spectrum we are covering in a total of 3 business units. And our sphere of activity is the business unit transportation, original equipment. And so concluding, separate the useful from the harmful is our company mission. We have an extensive portfolio of filtration products, solutions, and over 80 years of experience. And together with our customers, we aim to continuously create new value for our customers and keep on developing and providing outstanding filtration solutions for a cleaner planet. So the filtration need, one may think, well, combustion engines in PaaS cars go by. What is your position? But unfortunately, the world is getting more and more dirty. Water resources more and more scarce. The same with air, and especially also when you look at an electric vehicle, there is still a brake system with brake dust. There is still tire wear and many other filtration needed left. That is still a challenge to be able to capture. So this is the overall company mission, vision, and where we are active in a nutshell. Then we have 1 or 2 slides about the company. So founded in 1941, a little bit more than 80 years ago, and the company name goes back to the 2 founders of Mann & Hummel, Mr. Mann and Mr. Hummel. And I don't know how HR achieved it in the year 2022. We had at year-end 22,222 employees, located in across around about 80 locations in all 5 continents. Last year's turnover was 4.8 billion, and overall healthy, profitable company. We have this is showing our R&D strengths. We have around about 1,100 employees in R&D. 35 out of the 80 locations have R&D footprint, and we hold at the moment as a company more than 4,500 active patents. And the wide applications you have seen is 32 filters produced every second per average in our production lines globally. So in the 20-25 minutes while we are talking, the company produces round about 25,000 filters.
Okay, so let's have a deep dive into the original equipment of Mann Hummel, what we do there. We have different segments we're going to serve with filtration products like pest car, heavy duty on-road, heavy duty off-road, and industrial processes. Pest car and heavy duty on-road is mainly driven by customer specifications. So one specification will be developed to a physical product and sold in high quantities. The difference to heavy duty off-road industrial processes, where we say it's called under the umbrella name HDI, heavy duty and industrial, we have multi-customer products. We're going to sell one product to different regions, different customers in different segments. So let's talk about the reason, picking up the ball from Patrick, the reason why we are here today. Let's give you some insights about our product portfolio for a machine with a conventional powertrain, so a so-called combustion engine. Let's imagine in the center, you'll see a mid-size excavator, and there's a bunch of products, filtration products required in such an excavator, like air cleaners, for the intake air filtration, with accessories like a rain cap or an intake hood. We need as well cabin air filtration products in such a machine, hydraulic filtration, different types, fuel filtration, different types, urea filtration, oil filtration with different types, and crankcase ventilation, supported by somehow an average or some accessories. Imagine there's not only a mid-size excavator, but there's as well a bigger and a smaller excavator. We need as well the suitable products, filtration products, for those smaller and larger machines. So this leads to a certain complexity for our multi-customer products. And therefore, we need something better than Excel or PowerPoint to handle this complexity of products. And we are as well part of the transformation. For future applications, we have as well filtration products in the pipeline, supporting electric vehicles or fuel cell applications, like filtration systems for fuel cell systems, battery systems like a venting unit, filtration products for e-drives, and the cabin air filtration to support the air quality. But as well, things like answers on new emission legislations, like on the new Euro 7, it's in discussion to have as well the brake dust particle emission lowered by certain filtration products.
Yeah, it's my turn again. So with all these technical facts, let's give you an overview of what we do with ServiceNow in Mann & Hummel. Basically, the platform was adopted in 2017, and every employee who's white collar can access the self-service function. We have currently about 800 users in not just IT, but also in shared services who have a support or so-called fulfiller role. So the interesting thing for me when I created this slide was that the first time I realized how much transactions are going over ServiceNow outside the IT area. So very humiliating and humbling to see that IT is only 7,000 and with the second smallest consumer in Mann & Hummel of ServiceNow. And in fact, the opportunity to cache cases make the majority together with the sales case. So this is very exciting stuff. And in total, we have 86,000 transactions per month. So these are cases and incidents and requests and so on. By now, it should be much more since we're currently onboarding more and more shared services. What we experienced by using ServiceNow is really transparency. The moment we onboard someone and we start case management, we switch people from Outlook shared mailboxes to ServiceNow, suddenly we can see what is happening, how long it takes, and we can take action to make it faster. Yeah, we can also see what kind of transactions are happening and focus on automating those that happen a lot. Yeah. So this is what I mean with actively manage the performance and also the automation. You should only automate your automation on the things that are most heavily used and which make the biggest difference. And that's exactly information we get out from ServiceNow. Yeah, so what is exciting about this project is it's the first demand that came in for the ServiceNow platform from outside the IT and outside the shared service world. So it's dealing not with services or digital products and computers and so on, but it's dealing with physical products, which is the core product that we sell in Mann & Hummel. So I was personally also very interested in this one. How are we running the platform? Just an overview, also a snapshot from last year. We had 7 internal ServiceNow admins or DevOps developers, we could call them. We processed about 565 stories and spent about 2,700 hours on implementing them. We use Agile, so every 2 weeks we release some features to the platform. And so this is working pretty well. This year we have some more guys and ladies. And what you see on the right side is actually my plan for the next year. At this stage, we grow to a level where we cannot really cope with all the demands that we have. And so the 2 topics that really interest me is how can we help the company to digitize their processes further? And the second one is how do we deal with artificial intelligence? So that's why I planned 2 roles for next year. One is the success consultants. His job is to really be more on the business side and go into the business units, departments, and talk to them, find out how they work, what they're doing, and then just not develop a new solution, but sell the existing solution to them and help them to use it appropriately. The AI element is also very important. There's a lot of potential in it. We are also looking at the generative AI capabilities to link it with something like ChatGPT. But what we found in some first projects is that it's not running by themselves. You actually have to fiddle a lot with the parameters when you create machine learning models and so on. So actually it's valid to have a full-time resource for that. And lastly, the lower part, this is how can we deal with this this demand situation, because right now we're bottleneck. So we have 3 columns or 3 pillars of how to tackle it. One is to use more external development by using partners. That gives us flexibility, and especially if we have to produce a lot of things in a short time. For example, when we onboarded HR, we created 190 forms, record producers to be positioned on the employee portal. And so we use the partner for that. The second one is we now also start as well with HR, but also with some technical teams to train them as citizen developer and give them limited access rights so they can develop their things without our intervention, really. And the third one is mitosis. This is I always have to give a copyright. This I got this from my peers from BMW. They kindly introduced me this fascinating concept, is the cell division, if you remember back to your biology. And so the idea is that we take senior developer from the existing team to create a new team with some juniors that will also be high performing. And so we're using some Indian colleagues for that one. Finally, with all these different development streams, it's very hard, and we also found that out recently, very hard to make sure that the releases are very good in quality, and that's why we will also invest in quality engineers. The features we use, we have a really large spectrum of it. We basically use CSM, ITSM, ITOM. Also, of course, for our internal development, we're using the Agile module. We also use demand, but to be honest, it's not really configured yet. That's something we'll do in the future, but it is in use. We use it, especially the highest volume of demands that we have right now is application demands, and which links then to the next topic here, APM, where we try to reduce the number of applications in our company. Hardware asset management, software asset management, we have the app engine, and now we use the roadmap planning. Currently in discussion is workplace service delivery and vulnerability management.
So let's talk about our challenge, what we are going to solve with a solution like the implementation of the strategic portfolio management. We want to extend our capabilities. Historically, we are an automotive on-road driven company with a major focus on excellence in project and program management. Means from a customer specification up to the industrialization of a product, a physical product, we have great people creating great processes, and we really the experts. Yeah. So far the focus in our PLM system is on product development, validation, project management, and production. But we want to extend our capabilities, yeah, to portfolio management, supporting as well sales and product management, but in the future as well operations, purchasing topics, and after sales topics. So with that additional focus in off-highway, in the industrial segments, the so-called HD&I segments, we need a broader holistic approach. Yeah, we want to create visibility of products, concepts, innovation topics. Yeah, and link them together. Yeah, we want to generate dynamically linked interfaces from the idea to the physical product. Yeah, and therefore we need to visualize the dependencies to support alignment and governance internally, starting with capturing of ideas and demands, condensing them into the right path, and then let's say working on them to ensure a contribution later to our company targets. We need top-down, bottom-up planning to identify gaps or look for new opportunities, and to compare business cases to make that more transparent and easier, yeah, so that we have a crucial benefit to our company targets. And quite important, we want to pull data from existing systems like our PLM or financial planning systems, or our ERP system into SPM, yeah, or on the other hand as well pushing data back. So a single source of truth is very important. We do not want to generate duplicated data with this implementation of a tool. During the pilot phase with the team from PlanHorizon, we received the main achievements and the confirmation that things like the mapping and the portfolio governance of innovation projects, subsequent series projects, and already existing products in series production phase, so heritage products. Just for your information, we have life cycles not in weeks, months, or years. We're talking about decades. Yeah. So our most successful air cleaner program is 30 years old, and it's still very successful. Yeah. But we need to keep then the product's updated, and therefore we want to have the holistic view. And this was confirmed during the pilot phase with PlanHorizon and with ServiceNow. We make use of the strategic planning workspace for planning and visualization of roadmaps. And this supports as well the flexible grouping depending on our product group hierarchy on product group level, family level, and even dedicated sizes, air cleaner products like a small and a big one. For example, in an air cleaner family like the fancy Entron XD family, we have 6 or 7 sizes, yeah, from small airflow rates up to high airflow rates that need to be managed over the whole life cycle. And we're talking about decades, as mentioned before. Then we got the confirmation that the architecture with the interfaces and the data push and pull would work as we expect, and even or furthermore, creation of dashboards in ServiceNow is possible to manage and control the portfolio based on let's say linking different sources to set up the new picture to manage the product group. Patrick?
Yeah. So what we still need to do, and that's also interesting, is to get the data to display in the roadmaps. And we use, I teased it at the beginning, we use a multiple number of systems. For example, the PLM system, our SAP system in ERP, we have financial planning and forecasting and the business warehouse. And this data should go into ServiceNow that it's conveniently available for the decision makers. Fortunately, we figured out that we have a Snowflake data lake that's already existing. And so that's where we take the data from. Yeah, and that's how we push it into ServiceNow. Yeah.
So these are some explanatory screenshots out of the first wave of the pilot project, and one sentence in between. One can't overestimate the great synergies we are generating. We had been screening more than 40 vendors who dedicatedly work on product portfolio management, and then we were checking with whom do we already partner with in other business fields. And the description of ServiceNow and PlanHorizon was really exactly, this is what we want. This is our language. And we checked, is this a misunderstanding, a sheer coincidence? And this worked out super well. We can rely on an existing IT setup. We can rely on existing resources, everything rolled out, and this smooth adding of functions rather than yet requiring one more source is really a great support for our company on the way to have digital product portfolio and roadmap management. This is a great experience that what is already sleeping in IT server, let's say basements, that one can co-use elsewhere for the sheer main product and the main value chain of the company. This is explanatory by showing after linking our PLM system with the new tool, describing how we can make all projects hierarchical structures visible. We can group according to product groups, product families, product sizes. We can go into interlinked roadmap. We see here in the little black romps, we see project milestones. We see interdisciplinary relations between innovation projects, advanced development projects, series projects, and also the mature products. Then on next slide, we see here the stage gate import from the PLM system. And so a product manager, when he has a portfolio of maybe 10 ongoing projects, he does not have to go for each project individually into the PLM system anymore and check each project and progress individually. It is pulled into the ServiceNow tool, and he has a holistic, comprehensive portfolio overview at one glance to ease decision making and portfolio steering. Another view on importing the GPS data of a single project, explanatory advice, a new air cleaner development. All these data sets are centralized at one spot and provide the described improvements. We can slice every product into the BU, the regions, local legal entities, into customer groups, key accounts, and can do combine it with the can pull the financial planning of the business case scenario of each project and can stack them above each other. What does it mean for the entire bouquet of the projects, and how to mirror it with the existing product lifecycle management when it comes to do we need a lifecycle incentive? Is this product coming towards the sunset of his lifecycle? When do we need to kick off new development to manage our IP, which is in our products, that we don't keep on selling portfolios where the IP expired? All this can be brought into one spot.
And it helps to work in scenarios, yes, to see, okay, what's the impact if we do not work on that innovation and there's no contribution in 5 years, yeah. So to let's say steer as well somehow the resources in R&D, yeah, or to make the better decisions and to see what is then later the result of it.
Last but not least, I think explanatory by super anonymized dashboard perspectives to see the portfolio status, the portfolio health, and to manage all the project financials, portfolio risk overview, and to work also in scenarios. What happens if I add this new product range to the existing ones, and to administrate a portfolio mix?
Yeah. So the conclusion, I mean, you learned a little bit about the filters, our market, the complexity that comes with this product and serving the customers that we have. And so what we took out of the pilot is that we have really exactly what we wanted, and now we are currently upscaling this whole product and developing it to be ready for global rollout. We think that the service portfolio management and strategic planning workplaces, they suit well for our the first time outside of the IT area. So this user will be able to use it and generate value with this roadmap planning. And for me, the most important thing, possibly we can expand this to other departments, other business areas. Yeah? So for me, this synergy, this future potential is very important in developing the ServiceNow platform in Mann and Hummel. We can, I think what we saw here is that we can capture the whole view of this product from the initial idea through demand project, the serial production, up to the strategic goal that we want to achieve. What supports us here, we have my team of ServiceNow experts already there to support if any adjustment is needed, so we don't need to set up a new team. They can make sure that this product is sustainable and can support Andrew and Werner's as well as many other people in the future too. And if we need very specific features, and that's something that Andreas will attest to in our conversation before we engage on the pilot, I said, please keep it out of the box. And so that's here the trick is if we have some custom app requirement, we can use the app engine. And so it will be able to interact with the existing products, our existing master data, but it can provide this the needed feature without changing the out-of-the-box modules that we are using. The project philosophy is good enough. We're not trying to get the 120% with all our ideas in there, but go deliver some value on the way. And so we'll do it step by step. And also it's good from a user psychology that they get a smaller set of features initially, and then once they catch on, they will be able to adopt the new features and also suggest improvements later on. Our go live with the total project and full number of users will be Q1 2024. So if you look at the calendar, we're nearly at Christmas time. Yeah, so 1st of Advent is already over. So it's very ambitious project plan. But after the first sprint review that we had yesterday, I think everyone in the team is quite confident that it can be done. Yeah, so I think it's a fantastic product, a fantastic effort, fantastic project, and fantastic products. Yeah, so we like to see the success of this from the IT side, and we want to deploy it also to our other customers and consumers of ServiceNow. And with that, I think these were the closing words. As you see this, it's part of our marketing campaign where we provide little nuggets of information that are very important. And one thing we'd like to say also is that it's very important to have the right partners to go the way forward. And so thanks Daniel, and thanks Andreas for providing or for being that partner in this project.
Well, thank you for a great presentation. So yeah, this is really a very new field. I imagine that what we saw here is not super specific just for Mann and Hummel, but I would imagine that pretty much every manufacturing company, especially if they have very broad product spectrum, complex portfolios, they can have a very good business case from something like that. So maybe we can next week have a conversation with Bernd and Niels about that. So they have a lot of products and need product portfolio management, etc. So we have at least we are running a little bit late, but I guess who has to switch off, switches off, and there are still quite a few listeners in the conference here. So maybe if one of you, maybe Patrick, if you want to read the question and then answer it, that would be great. And yes, and Daniel is here also. He was the project manager for the pilot project, and basically came up with all these ideas who realized that. So he can maybe also comment on what we did there, and then it would be interesting to hear your perspective on how this kind of solution can be transferred to other manufacturing and possibly also other industries.
Yeah, I think it's a very good pattern for that, very good prototype or a very good solution pattern to expand this. As we've already touched on, what impressed me very much is that obviously, I mean, we saw the history. Mann and Hummel has a great maturity in their individual project delivery, a product development life cycle. So in their PLM system, they have their milestones and they're managing them. And this is great, and this has grown over time, and there's so much experience there from the engineers, process understanding, product development understanding. And one thing, we're not looking to replace that. We're looking to integrate it into our overall SPM roadmap planning, because this is one of the promises that we have with the integrated platform, right? To orchestrate, to manage, to link back to the strategies. Same thing with the financial planning application that we saw. That does what it does very well. We're not looking to replace this, but provide an umbrella across that to give Andrew, Werner, and their colleagues like a high-level view on the overall roadmap and link it like back to the strategies that we also heard in the product presentations earlier, to introduce this kind of thinking and link various solutions and various previously siloed applications, if you like, into this strategic planning piece. And then, yeah, like Patrick said, I'm also hoping to roll it out to different organizational units and different parts. That was pretty much it. And that was also for a question we had earlier about siloed applications versus integrated applications. So you touched on the best of breed applications as well. So would it be useful for you if we had everything in ServiceNow, like the approach to migrate everything and replace everything with solutions in ServiceNow, rather than the approach we're going now to say, we're doing what we do on ServiceNow, we do that very well, and the PLM system does what it does on its own. So especially this integration approach, how does that fit into your architecture plan also, Patrick? And maybe not on mute, then.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, for me personally, it would be very good if we have more and more features on the ServiceNow platform, depending on the complexity. On the other hand, we have to always keep in mind to generate value. So just to have it on the ServiceNow platform is not good enough reason to do it. So the cost saving of having a single platform, it could be there. But on the other hand, we need to make sure that we don't replace something that is working really fine. So that would be reinventing the wheel. So what we open up, there's some maybe smaller aspect that could move to the platform at some stage, but we'll just take it as it comes. So that's basically our approach that we plan for the platform.
Very well. If there were no more questions now in the chat, and yeah, thanks again to all of you for this great presentation and for having the vision to actually jump into this together with us and ServiceNow and say, like, look, we can make our company a lot better, and we can make more revenue and more profit if we do this really well. You know? Connecting strategic portfolio management with the sales forecast to say, we have to do this innovation project to make this revenue in India in 2029. That's pretty amazing vision. Yeah.